Hello, this is a quick inquiry and kind of an outline on what I'm looking to do for an advanced body language class. The reason for this video is I want to actually say and show a lot of what I'm looking for. I love face-to-face conversations, and just typing or on the phone doesn't really give a lot, and I'm really wanting to work on this webinar style format. For those of you who have taken my classes, please take a look at this. Your experiences that you've had since the classes. Let's take a look at what you need or what you want beyond that. Since I've been here in Lawton, I've already had some requests on doing some advanced programs. So I've had it in the back of my head. I just need to put it on paper and make it workable. I tried to do one of these videos the other day, and I realized that I can't email larger formats, or YouTube only takes 10 minutes. So that's what I'm really trying to do, is get these things put in a shorter format. When we're talking about advanced, and my cats are over here fighting, when we're talking about advanced gestures or advanced body language in general, what are we talking about? Well, as a lot of you have heard me talk about, is that just utilizing your hands correctly when we're giving presentations, when we're talking to people, is very important. It's very powerful. Having the palms up is a giving gesture. When we're giving information and wanting to be open to the other individual, our palms are up. Now, when we're wanting to be controlling of the situation and we're dictating information, then our palms are down. That is a very controlling gesture, because we're putting ourselves over everyone else. Be very careful of that. Also, be careful of the point. It's a gun, it's a knife, whatever it is, that you're thinking that's a very powerful gesture, especially when you're doing the jab. You're driving your point home. Be careful with that, because a lot of people don't realize what they're doing and why people become so defensive or standoffish when they're really trying to drive home their point. Be careful on how animate you are with your gestures. Beyond that, conversations. One of the things that I really try to talk to people and convince them is, once you get comfortable with what you're doing, and you're congruent between what you're saying and you're doing, and picking up what the other person is doing, start keeping track of your conversation at that point. Once you become more comfortable with it, and you're not having to think about it, you don't have that indistinction between what you're saying and what you're trying to pay attention to, really try to keep track of the conversation, because as you go through your conversation, you're going to pick up on whether what someone wants, what they like, what they dislike, where at a certain point in the conversation they get really drawn in. At a certain point in the conversation they get really distracted, or they become very defensive. Pay attention to those things. Log them in your mind, so then that way on the next time you have a conversation, or the continuation of the current conversation, if they become defensive, if they become distracted, then you know how to bring them back in. You know those questions to ask, that, oh, I knew that they were really drawn into this part of the conversation or the pitch, then I can bring them back to that. Beyond that, take notes after your conversations. I believe in any sales apparatus, you should be taking notes. When you're sitting down with anyone, whether it's a first contact, whether it's a continued business client, I think we should all have an ongoing set of notes for everyone we do business with or converse with, so then that way, as we build our business, there's more and more people we're talking to, and it's dang near impossible to keep track of all of that. Keep notes. Keep tabs on what's going on, what's happened in the past. Okay. Combining, and that goes right into combining our spoken word with what we do non-verbally. Now, nonverbal is not body language. Nonverbal is just the non-spoken word. That is how we emphasize our words. It is the inflections. It's our guttural. It is then also our body language. There is many different aspects of how we communicate, interpersonally and on a mass spectrum. So be careful, and one of the things that I want to continue to talk about is, how do we use our spoken word in conjunction with what we're saying? Are we congruent? Is there a disconnect there? Are we saying what we mean? The motto I live by is, I say what I mean so I can mean what I say. There's no questions about it. I don't have to keep track of things on my side as to, okay, was I 100% on this? Did I spin this? Did I fib on this. No, be truthful, be upfront. Then that way you don't have to second guess. You don't have to think about things. You can go to bed at night feeling good about your day. One of the big things that I'm really going to start talking about and working on is sitting arrangements. Where do we sit in meetings, in interviews, in large conference rooms, in whatever? How do we sit? Where do we sit? What are we trying to convey? Are we the leader of the meeting? Okay, what am I trying to do? Am I the leader of the meeting and I'm dictating information? Am I wanting to have a more congruent meeting and having everybody on the same page as a presenter? Also, in a social setting, where am I looking at? If I'm interviewing or being an interviewer, how do I want to set up the room? Okay, though there's a lot to that, and whether or not it's a square conference table, it's an oblong, not round, but oval. Whether it's a round table, square table, if you're sitting on couches, open chairs, all of those things really matter as to what you want to perceive and give. If I am a spectator or I am just part of the meeting, where do I want to sit to get what I want out of the meeting? Am I against that person? Do I want to be their right-hand man, which actually means right hand? If you're to the right of the presenter or to the president, you're going to get more attention than the person to the left. There's all of those little things that really add up. With that, I got to take this call and take a look at this, and please give me some feedback. Thanks, guys.